In an industry obsessed with mass appeal, The Witcher 2 is a defiantly ambitious, dense adventure. CD Projekt Red's clearly put a ton of work into its creation, delivering some incredible visuals and building in huge consequences for decisions made. It's a game that doesn't try to dilute its mechanics to cater to everyone, and is stronger because of it. It's a modern role-playing game with an old-school mentality. It's rare these days to see game companies willing to put so much time and effort into creating environments and stories only some of its player base will see, but that's the case here. There are decision points where you'll bypass entire cities, though I won't spoil the details here. It should be enough to say that you'll need to pay close attention to your choices. I'm not all the way through The Witcher 2 yet, so this isn't a full review, but from what I've seen, this is my favorite role-playing game of 2011 so far. It can be a little daunting, though. This is a sequel after all, and if you didn't play the first, you won't immediately connect with the characters. The game also doesn't do a very good job of explaining all its mechanics. The characters will spout dialogue riddled with fantasy names and locations without really explaining what they're talking about. It doesn't feel like the game is holding your hand. Instead, you're along for the ride. And it is a hell of a ride.
Stand your ground!
The stakes are high in The Witcher 2, the story exciting, and the characters intriguing. Nobody in this world is a clearly defined hero or villain. Everyone seems to have ulterior motives, and there's nobody you can necessarily trust implicitly. It's also not a game that slaps a giant good versus evil meter on your character screen. You make decisions, people die, and life goes on. It makes the world of The Witcher 2 feel authentic. As you move from location to location, there's plenty to do. Collectible components are everywhere that can be fashioned into swords and armor. The alchemy system requires you drink potions before a fight instead of mid-battle, meaning there's no instant band-aid if you screw up in combat. The fighting system is fast and centered around timing sword slashes to combo enemies into oblivion, but features quite a bit of depth. Traps can be deployed in combat zones for a variety of special effects, bombs tossed to stun foes, and magical spells cast to protect yourself and set enemies on fire. All the while you'll be leveling and expanding your skill set and powering up your swords and spells. It's a system I'm still experimenting with, but so far is flexible and fun to use. The Witcher 2 is a big game, and I'm not near the end quite yet, but as far as I'm concerned, even though it's not necessarily designed for everyone needs to play this. And for continuing updates and eventually a final review, check out IGN.com.